There is a place where no one is seen as a stranger, where no one is ever faced with danger. A place that is gentle, kind and light, and nothing would ever trigger a fight. A place that is boundless and wide, where we walk with angels side by side. A place that smiles and happy tears, where our hearts are open and there are no more fears. A place where love is seen on every face and arms are open wide to embrace. A place where everyone measures the same, where you are true though, and yet no one knows your name. A place where mysteries are explored, where truth is accepted and never ignored. A place where those of old age are wide-eyed and still learning, when time seems to rewind, and to youth we are returning.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hey, Pastor Norman.
Well, hey there, Mom. How you doing?
I'm doing, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing as well. Been a busy bee today.
Oh, really? What you been up to?
Ooh, just trying to run, take care of stuff, and packing. We getting ready to head out tomorrow evening to Jacksonville for the conference that we're both speaking in.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that last time we were on the online. Yeah. Looking forward to that, aren't you?
We are. I'm just worn out right now.
What time are you heading out tomorrow?
We're gonna head out probably around 5 or 6 tomorrow evening.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that far from you guys? Jacksonville, Florida?
About 3.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad at all. Mm-mm.
No, that's not bad at all. Well, my voice is still going in and out, so if you hear me and I sound a little funny, that's why. I don't know what's going on with it, but
dealing with the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's what it is, and I'm okay. Just been a little kind of slow, but that's all right too. I haven't done a whole lot, just kind of mess around in the house, and it's been rainy all day, so I've enjoyed that.
Yeah, we had a storm hit us around I want to say between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. Came out of nowhere, real dark, looked like tornado, but was not even forecasted.
Really? Wow. Well, Dad'll be here soon. I just told him, I said, you haven't forgotten that tonight is Tuesday, right? No, I haven't forgotten, so I assume he'll be here whenever he's done whatever he's doing. So how did things go Sunday? Okay, I assume.
Hey, you see me, right? Amazing. Yes.
Amazing, huh?
Amazing. I've been talking about, the subject for Sunday afternoon was, actually for Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon, I was talking about being a glory carrier. And so it's a term that has become very popular, especially within the church, but no one really explained or defined what a glory carrier really is. And so came from Isaiah 60:1, when it says, arise and shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. And so I was talking about how a glory carrier is a person who embodies and who reflects God's presence, power, and character. And
that's good. I like that. Yeah. And in fact, that kind of goes along with what I looked at just before we went live, how that we are multidimensional beings. And not only that, but we're the manifested version of God. Mm-hmm. We're what God looks like when it's manifested. Mm-hmm. So that's good. I like that. So how did the people respond?
Oh, they respond. They respond. We had, you know how we say in the church arena, we had a move of God. I mean, it was amazing. And there was such a prophetic flow. At the same time, again, I am y'all's son. So there were things that that was being revealed to me about certain individuals that they were just in awe, and all I have to say, Father God was in the house.
Yeah, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I'm so pleased. Well, let's see who's here. My sister and my brother-in-law's here. Yeah, and I had a wonderful conversation with my great nephew telling my sister this. Her grandson last night he called me and we talked for maybe an hour or more. Yeah, he's just
Wow.
stepped out. He's 20, I think he's 20, 21, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, he's stepped out on his own and decided to go out and live on his own as an
Oh
independent.
wow.
And I told him, that's a big step. That's a big step. But he seems to be doing fine and he seems to be happy doing that. So
Mhm.
it was a wonderful conversation. And he said he's adjusting to all of the challenges and all of that. But hey, I told him I've never lived on my own. I left my daddy's house and got married and lived with my husband. So I've never been on my own. I don't even know what that's like. But I tell you, I told him that was a very brave move, and that's an adult move, isn't it?
It is. It is. It
Yeah,
kind of brought me back to when I was in Greensboro, and when I moved off the yard and so forth. And it's it may be a challenge, but I enjoyed it. I really did. Being on
yeah,
your own is nothing like it in the world.
yeah. I think he's on an adventure.
Exactly.
All right, let's see who else is here. Here's Dee Dee. Hey, Dee Dee, how are you doing? You and George and Jamal and the baby and all of you guys. Hope you're doing well. John Greason's in the house. Hey, John Greason. Pastor will be here soon, I think. He said he hadn't forgotten, so he's here. He's just somewhere talking, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Brother Kay, how are you? How are you? And there's Sister Pearl. Hey, Sister Pearl. There's Sister Sharon. And there's Jill. And yeah, he is 20. Darius, my great nephew, is 20. Yes, yes. So he's doing well. He's doing well. He sounded very, very good. He's always been a very level-headed young man,
Hmm.
and spiritual at the same time. He's the one when he was about 3 or 4. He looked at me and looked outside my door. He's sitting at the table and he looked at me and said, he calls me Nene. He said, Nene, all your doors are wide open.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so he had that kind. And whenever we got into a heated discussion, he would tell us to count to 10. So that's the kind of person he's always been. And so, hey, Sister Phyllis and Edward, hope you guys are doing well. And I assume you guys are hearing and seeing us clearly. And Pastor Norma just shared that he talked about the glory on Sunday. But I wanted to kind of touch base on something. I don't know how far we'll get with it, but if you went to the zoo and you looked at the apes and the monkeys, what you would, and well, not just them, but pretty much them, because they kind of resemble the human state, you would see the same mindset that we humans have.
Hmm.
The need for dominance, the fight of survival, the fear of being threatened, all of the same things that we as humans experience. So I call that the animalistic mind, or we could call it the reptilian mind. It's the human mind, and every last one of us is born with it. I've looked at some of the videos on YouTube. I like watching the ones about the little kids and how they respond to different things and react. And the babies are so funny. And here they are. Some of them, either it's one little boy who's eating French fries, and his mom or somebody went over there and picked up one of the fries, and he had a fit. Like, no, no. And they said, well, can I have one? No. So here we have the same mind here in a baby that hasn't been trained, probably hasn't even seen anybody do that. But at the same time, the possessiveness is there. This is mine. No, you can't have it. That animalistic mind is still there and very prevalent. So that's something that I think I know every last one of us came into this existence with. And it is that egoic mind that we are now trying to transcend.
Mm-hmm.
And we all are subject to falling into its patterns. And so that to me is pretty cut and dry, because I don't think we'll ever be really free of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we probably will never be really free of it. I do believe we can wake up to it and realize that it is not what we truly are. And that happens only when the Holy Spirit reminds us. And the Holy Spirit is, I say the Holy Spirit is opportunistic, because every opportunity the Spirit of God gets to reveal itself to us and reveal the truth to us, it takes that opportunity. And
Mm-hmm.
so, a lot of times, in the midst of us acting out like those monkeys, in the midst of us having the same fears and angers and all of those different things, even hatred, in the midst of that, there is the grace and the mercy of the Spirit of God that wakes us up, and we begin to realize, this is not my true nature.
Mm-hmm.
This is the nature of the beast.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because on Good Morning America, I can't remember the anchor woman, or I can't remember her name. She's been there forever. The black one, the black American.
I know who
Lady,
you're talking about, but I don't remember. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, anyway, on Good Morning America, they actually had a segment where she went to Africa, and she was taken on an adventure to go see the silverback gorilla, which was
Mm,
many years ago practically almost extinct. But they
mm,
have been able to save them. They are multiplying, and so she was talking about that, and they was explaining that they are the closest to human beings in DNA, behavior, how they take care of their younglings, everything, the
mm.
mother, all of that. And they was talking about that this morning as well. And as you was sharing that, I was reminded of something I read in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 18 and 19, how it says, "And I said to myself regarding the sons of men, God is surely testing them in order
Mm,
for them to see that by themselves, without God, they are only animals. For the
yeah.
earthly fate of the sons of men and the fate of animals is the same. As one dies, so dies the other. Indeed, they all have the same breath, and there is no preeminence or advantage for man in and of himself over an animal, for all is vanity."
Can you read that again? And tell us where that is again?
That's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 18 and 19. And I'm reading out of the Amplified Translation. And I
Okay.
studied this about 2 weeks ago. And it reads again, "I said to myself regarding the sons of men, God is surely testing them in order for them to see that by themselves, without God, they are only animals.
Mm,
For the earthly fate of the sons of men and the fate of animals is the same. As one dies, so dies the other. Indeed, they all have the same breath, and
mhm.
there is no preeminence or advantage for man in and of himself over an animal, for all is vanity."
Isn't that something?
That, mom, when I read that, I was like, oh my God.
So that pretty much seals it for me, as far as knowing that that is the absolute truth, that we all have that reptilian animalistic mind. And that is what we come into this world with. But
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I have to say this, because this world, when I say world, I mean this earthly existence, is so uncertain and life threatening, uh, dangerous to a
Mm-hmm.
point. that when you come into this particular existence, you must have that kind of mind,
Mm-hmm.
or you won't survive. And we see that happening all the time. Uh, it is interesting to note that in the animal kingdom, only those that are the strongest survive.
Survives. Exactly.
Yes, and it requires a very dominant attitude, and so for some of us, that has been the only way we have coped with this life existence.
Mm-hmm.
I shared with my nephew yesterday. He was talking about how he's taking therapy and working through some of his issues, and I said that's a good thing. I said, you know what? Back in the day, when black men and women had problems, they didn't have the money or the means, or even and sometimes it was not only that, they didn't want to go through the stigma of going to a therapist. So
Exactly.
the way they coped was, and it's not just blacks, but I'm familiar with that because it's what I'm raised up in. But for the majority of blacks, they turned to alcohol and drugs. That was the only means of coping,
Mm-hmm.
the to escape, to escape. So some of us have come into this earth existence, and because of the things that we've encountered, we have become victims, and some of us have developed a lot of escapism habits.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of confronting our fears, we run from them and try to escape from them. And then there are those of us who fight like everything. And say, I'm gonna get you before you get me. So that's
Exactly.
that animalistic mind
Mm-hmm.
that we all have. uh, I'll call it the human side effect, as Dad says, the human side effect.
And I believe that's even as Solomon, and I feel like this is a really a prophetic word that is forecasting. Even we see the manifestation of it now in this time and season, because that has been the dominant comment. I can't go anywhere without everyone asking the question, what is going on? Did you see about this mass gun shooting? Did you hear how? I mean, everything is like a wow moment. What is happening? And
Mhm.
so when I ran across that scripture in the amplified version, I was like, there it is.
Mm.
Man is resorting back to his animalistic mind. That's
Yes.
why we're dealing with the violence. And like you said, in the animal kingdom, only the strongest shall survive. And so it's because, and this is why I love how y'all have brought us on this journey of understanding, oneness, enlightenment, and so forth. Because even as he said, we're no different than the animals. The only thing that makes us different is that we are aware, we are very conscious of
Yes.
God being in us as us.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and so it's when we lose that awareness that we begin to resort to that behavior, that animalistic or beastly behavior. And so
Mhm.
again, one of the things just this week, or part of this past week and a half, you had the gentleman that went into New York. He traveled miles to
Mhm.
get to
Mhm.
New York, all because of him dealing with a situation, a mental situation concerning the concussion protocol in the NFL. But mind you, he never played in the NFL.
Mm.
And so he goes in, not hiding nothing, got the gun right, the automatic weapon right there, goes in, shoots people, kill the cop, all the different things. And they said that he has history of mental illness. Then you have this gentleman in Tennessee who goes into the bar, shoots four people that he knows, hey, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And again, so I am seeing now where, because of all the things that's happening, mankind is kind of resorting and going backwards, and not in all cases, but I'm
Yeah.
just talking about universally. It seems as if we're resorting, going back to the prehistoric time of man, where everything was
Primitive. Yes.
primitive.
Primitive.
That's the word I was looking for, primitive man. And so we're noticing that. And so when again, as he said, God is surely testing. And
Mhm.
so I believe we're in that right
Yeah,
now. This is
yes,
all a test, but at the end of the test, we're going to see the manifestation of his glory.
I believe that too. And I know now why Jesus would often say, "How long will I suffer you?" And what he was saying is that I know this is your humanity, but how long are you going to be this?
Mm-hmm.
This is not, and Jesus came not so much to cause us to worship him, but Jesus came to give us an example of what it looks like when a man or a woman transcends that animalistic nature
Exactly.
and begins to live from the divinity that they are. And that uh, is what we're experiencing now, like you said, in our world, in our culture, in our country, and all of that, is we're experiencing a lot more threats, and so it's causing a lot more human reactions,
Mm-hmm.
and the human reactions are are almost dictated by the events that are taking place. They are dictated by the events taking place. So, what we're experiencing also is the evolution of consciousness in humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Humanity itself is in a process of evolution. And I do believe that, like for instance, we how many times have we heard about the caveman and the way he caught his woman or his mate is he took his club and hit across the head and drug her back to the cave. So,
Drag it. Yeah.
hey, evolution of consciousness said, okay, I've got to win this woman. I can't hit her over the head and drag her. So this is the evolution of humanity that we're witnessing. And there are those of us who have transcended the animalistic nature to the point where we are now aware and awake, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
awake to that. And now we know that when we act out of that, and it's so instinctual. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's
Exactly.
so instinctual that it happens without us even thinking, deliberately, consciously thinking. The animalistic nature will kick in. For
Mm-hmm.
instance, if somebody steps on your toe, I mean, your response might be to hit them. And it's so instinctual. And so that animalistic nature is just there prevalent in all of us. But the evolutionary process of consciousness, I wrote on this years ago about there are stages. The evolution of the ego is the basic instinct to survive, and it's animalistic, and it's not overcome by seeing you can't overcome it if you see everything as an enemy.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so seeing everything as an enemy is what triggers that fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are now learning that everything is not our enemy. But now in converting everything that's being presented to us as though it is a lesson or a mirror to reflect what we need to transcend.
Exactly.
Now we no longer see the need to fight it or run from it. That makes sense.
Makes a whole lot of sense because that's one of the things that you hear again in the religious circles. Every time something goes wrong, I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked. So everything, like you said, is an enemy or something is always opposing us, and that's not
Yeah,
always the case. And I try to
yeah,
help some people to understand that because again, that's you being conditioned to have this religious thinking that
mhm,
everything is about coming at you. So now it triggers us to the place where we try to establish this form of dominance,
yes,
and that's what's happening now again in the world today. There are many that are, things are happening. That's my enemy. When you mentioned about stepping on your toe, you ain't got to step on your toe. Buy a pair of brand new sneakers. Let them
yeah,
be. If somebody just
yeah,
barely scratch or touch your sneaker, now you want to fight over a pair of sneakers. All
yeah.
right, so
For my dad, it was his car. You didn't
there
slam
you
his
go. Don't
door,
leave on my car.
and
Yeah.
you didn't beat in my car.
Yep. And so we see that, and so now the element of reasoning together, we don't communicate or talk or discuss anything. Everything is war. It's time to
Oh,
fight.
And you just said the word there, reasoning. The first level, according to Dr. David Hawkins, who you might have heard me mention earlier in some of the other sessions, he did a calibration chart where he calibrated the levels of enlightenment. And he said the very first stage to enlightenment is courage, but it also comes from reasoning. It's when you come to the place where you can now think for yourself. You can think without pulling from what you've already learned from someone else or somebody else, someplace else. The reasoning faculty. So and God encourages that. You remember it says in the scriptures, come, let us reason together. God encourages questioning. God encourages, let's look at this a little more deeply. Let's take a deeper look at this. Don't just accept it at face value. Don't just take it because I said it, but let's look at this. And if you have some questions about it and some things you want to discuss, let's discuss it. God encourages that, but church brain won't let you do that.
Nope.
They say don't question God.
Exactly.
But life requires that we reason, and that is the very first, one of the very first steps to enlightenment. When you come to the place in your intellect where you can look more deeply at things that are happening. Now, also in the evolution of humanity, the evolution took place. Mankind evolved as discoveries were made. So there was a movie, I can't remember the name of that movie. Was it 2000 BC? I don't know if you've ever seen an old movie, 2000 BC.
I'm familiar with that one. I am.
It shows where the cavemen discovered fire.
Yes, that's 2000 BC.
Yeah. So as discoveries are made, humankind evolves. So what's happening now with all of us here in this time, there are discoveries being made, and they're not just, AI is one big discovery, but anyway, and then there's the internet and all of those other things. But on the spiritual level, there are discoveries being made. We are now discovering that God is not remote. And so now bringing God to earth, and not only to earth, but in earth. Yes, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. So bringing God to earth is now where the evolution of humankind is taking place, because there are those of us who are now recognizing that God is here and God is where we are and who we are.
Exactly. So now I have a question. First question, I have two questions actually. What you just shared, if the depiction of the evolution of man, through history is accurate, like when you just mentioned how caveman had this, or primitive man discovered fire, the first time they discovered fire, and I immediately thought about how they then evolved and they created the wheel and all these different things and so forth. So now, if we think about that and put it side by side with the narrative of the book of Genesis, do you think or believe that there was a form of man without the embodiment of God in them before Adam?
When you say
Adam is not, and that's another thing people need to understand. Adam is not literally his proper name. That's
yes.
He's without name. That the Adam was making reference to species.
The species, yes.
You see what I'm saying? Made out of red clay.
So actually, you're asking if there was other species that did not have the embodiment of God.
Exactly.
I don't know. However, I do know there were other species that were created way before Adam came into the garden. And that's where a lot of the Luciferic, satanic fallen angels
Mhm.
set up their kingdom during that time. When they set up their kingdom during that time, they have been since that time trying to overturn God's kingdom. And
Exactly.
so we have very limited knowledge with that, but I do understand that this is where a lot of uh, the darker arts come from.
Hmm.
So
And,
now,
and
you
that's why I
ask,
believe that when he said, "Let there be light," because see, in one theological concept, there was always the form of something, but it was not able to be seen.
Mhm,
And so
mhm,
when it said, "When the earth was out without form and void, and darkness come," a lot of people don't understand. A lot of that is metaphorically speaking.
yeah, yeah,
And then there came a time when God created, and He brought the light, so boom, that you could see actually what was there.
yes,
And so,
yes,
like you stated, if we think the time before Adam, that's when, like you said, dealing with the Luciferian thought and the fallen angels or whatever and so forth, they established something during that period of time.
yes. What if the earth was not, this is a what if, just a different picture. What if the earth that was spoken of, that was formed without form and void, what if that was man without form and void?
Hmm.
And then God spoke and said, "Let there be light," and light came,
Hmm.
and the man woke up.
Hmm.
What if the earth that it's talking about is not this round globe, but it is the earth that we as mankind would be?
Exactly.
Mhm. So it was saying, without that light, mankind is without form and void.
Hmm.
And until that light breaks through, mankind is going to be that animalistic nature that we talked about. And so just another way to look at it. Just another way to look at it.
And I can follow that thought because again, when I was doing the teaching on this week concerning being a glory carrier, to be a glory carrier is one that embodies and reflects
Mhm.
the character of God, the presence, the essence of God, the nature of God. So when you think about the word embody, it means to give form to. So
Yes.
we are actually giving form to God in
Yes.
this
Yes.
dimension and realm.
Yes. Yes. We're the manifested versions of God. Yes.
I
Exactly.
just showed a young man out in the yard about a glove, and I took him out there. What did we cut that tree down?
Mhm,
I said, if you want to know how old this tree is, go to the center where that circle, that spot was. I
mhm,
said, at that center, you're going to locate the acorn that fell off the tree. You're going to also locate the essence
Mhm.
of every man at the center. Count from the outside. If you could count all those rings, it would tell you how long it took for that tree
To
to
get to
come
that
into the
size.
physical manifestation.
Mhm.
If
wow.
you reverse it and come back out, you have the skin. And while we were standing there, the bark, while we were standing there, a piece of limb fell off the other tree and hit the ground, and we both jumped. I, I was telling him that he has always been inside of the acorn. The
Mhm,
acorn was inside of the tree that it fell off of. It was the tree that fell off of, but it decided to use the genius, miraculous superpower of us,
Isn't it amazing?
life.
Isn't it amazing that that tree accepted to be struck by lightning
Yep.
so that it could become a teacher?
Mm-hmm.
well,
And
see,
scared the hell out of
I
us.
love that. If we totally walk in, I would
Mm-hmm.
say a high percentage of awareness, active
Mhm.
awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Everything is a tool for learning.
Yes,
Every
it's
situation, every
everything.
event, it is a learning tool. So we evolve the more that we keep learning.
Yeah.
A young lady said something to me on Sunday. We was talking to her, and I love what she said. And a lot of people deal with anxiety.
Yes.
And she said she learned how to take her anxiety and flip it to a point where it becomes a positive tool to remind her of her being a woman of faith.
Okay.
And I said, wow, never thought of it like that before.
Mhm,
But she
mhm.
said it's like because of she would have anxiety, she came to the place, which means she embraced it. And
Yes.
now it becomes a positive tool in her
Yes.
evolution.
Yes. Now that you just said something very, very important. Do I give up? Do I fight it? Do I accept it, or do I surrender? Where's the balance in there? So what you just said is she found a way to overcome it, not by trying to force it to go away, but by accepting it and using it. So,
Mm-hmm.
like I said about the tree, it accepted the lightning so that it could be a teacher.
Exactly.
That was the
Exactly.
cross.
Yeah.
Just like the tree in the Bible when Jesus cursed it and said, no one should eat. I mean, he talked to the tree.
Yes.
So he said, no man should eat from you no more.
So that tree
Yeah.
became barren so that it could be a teacher.
Yeah. A tool.
Yeah.
That's
He
it.
talked to himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm-hmm.
takes us back to what you were saying earlier, Mom, about it. We have been conditioned to think that everything is an enemy.
Yes.
So because we think everything is out to get us, we don't embrace it. We don't learn from it.
Right.
And
Right.
this is why if you are in that state of mind, then that's why you perceive that all things are not working for your good. When
Yes.
all actuality, if you embrace it,
Mm-hmm.
then all things will work out for you good because it
So
becomes a learning tool.
so when I don't embrace it, I'm always on guard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always on guard because I feel like I'm going to be threatened. So so at that point, I've got my guard up. I've already got my feelers out for defense to defend what I believe needs defending,
Mm-hmm.
to protect what I think is endangered. And so therefore I'm not open to see Christ in anything.
And I like how you said protect that which is in danger. So now let's highlight what's in danger. What is actually in danger? And so in many cases, nothing.
Nothing.
It's all an illusion.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
What is the definition of the word wisdom?
Now,
That's
through education,
Ask that
are
for
you
a reason.
wanting an answer?
Did you ask it for us to answer, or did
That's
you
what
ask?
are you
I
asking?
ask that because the reason why I say that is this. It says you have not because you ask not. People think that it's just asking. I found out the mystery behind asking God is asking for what appeals to Him, the
Yes.
divine self. You got to learn how to speak the divine language. He didn't create the world with world be. He did it with stillness, no words. Wasn't no such thing as a Greek Hebrew word. Wasn't no such thing as Hispanic, all the different Russian names and technology of words. Wasn't no such thing as it, they, them, bum, bum, bum. Hey, he just, and there it was. He didn't even say who. Who is too much.
What does that say right
But
there?
wisdom.
Read it right there. What does it say?
God does not wait to hear our words, but continually hears and answers our heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, wisdom, the definition of wisdom is very simple. It's the when to, what to, how to of knowledge. When to use it, how to use it, and when not to use it. Or when, what, and how is how it works. Oh, now I see how that tree works.
Clarity.
Yeah.
I was telling the young boy, this, and his dad is a therapist, and he's in the bodybuilding weightlifting, and he's talking about bench pressing. I told him how to find the center of gravity between the middle of his chest and the time that he get that bar up over his where his eye perspective. But I said, when you start off, you don't wait, you relax, you don't wait to push the weight, then tighten up. I said, you are that weight in its light form.
Mm-hmm.
Before you touch the bar, you are the light form. So I told him, I said, you get tight. You've already done that before you get up under the bar. But I said, you learn how to hit the switch. And the switch is the ability to use wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
God wants you to use wisdom, be wisdom, and walk in wisdom. Mechanics know how to, when to, what to. Your wisdom is to what. See, when I started driving a car, I thought maybe the way you drive, I'm sitting on my dad's lap, looking over or through the steering wheel. I thought maybe you look down to the front end of the car. But every time, once in a while, I look down the front of the car, I get hypnotized, and I run off the road. It put me to sleep in his lap.
Yeah.
Then I had to wake up. And then I started looking away, gradually looking out. I said, uh-oh, how am I going to do this? So I had to become the car,
Extend yourself.
extend my spider sense. Long time
You had
ago.
to extend past your body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I can't see them tires. I got 3 inches of tires at least sticking out under my Jeep. If I don't project myself as being outside and inside, wisdom, insight, outside, out of sight, I'm going to run up on the curve.
Mm-hmm.
So to make sure as I got older, I have to look out the window now and see how close I am to the curb. Once I get that picture in there, I can drive up and be just as close to the window as anybody else in the car. So I started projecting myself to the wheels and the spider sense outside. That's why tractor and trailer drivers, that tractor and trailer ain't no wider than that lane, that car. It just gives you the illusion that it's so big that if you don't stay on your side, you're going to tear up something. Well, they're not afraid. They don't operate out of fear. Wisdom is the ability to get fear out the way.
Exactly.
Wisdom is the ability to use the lane and the space that you have to stay on your side and back it up, turn it around, drive it like a car. Only you got to back in on that, see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is what I was telling him out there. I said, once you learn the technique, you're going to do what Samson did to those Philistines. 10,000 men got beat with the bone of a jaw of a donkey. Okay. 999 men got the donkey beat out of
Got the doggy.
Here come this one of the little bitty man. They done piled up all around Samson. And incidentally, Samson was Jesus. And he piled up all around them men. Now, he had to get some space out there. So, unless you're going to crawl over top of all them bodies. 10,000 people got beat the hell out of. And here he comes.
And
I
you
got
think
him.
you're gonna be the one.
Yeah. I'm number one. I done found out how they get their butt beat. I'm going to go around. I'm going to try. He couldn't get behind Sam because he was in the cleft of a rock. He couldn't get behind Jesus because Jesus was the rock.
Mm-hmm.
And he was standing in his true identity and whooped the hell out of all of them. So it,
That is a nut.
Uh-huh.
Hey, he been here when we was talking about the first part. He sounded like he going to the animalistic.
Now, Diaquin asked a good question. She says, hey, Diaquin, she says, can wisdom be taught or applied, or is it innate?
it is innate.
It ain't.
It's always been there. That's what you're made out of.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
And that's what caused Solomon to stand out
Yes.
in the writings, because that was when he, if the narrative is true, when he was offered whatever you want, I'll make you the wealth. But he said, I want wisdom. And so remember, it was the wisdom that Solomon was emanating that attracted people to him, Because remember, it wasn't so much the wealth that he had that wowed the people. The scripture said it was his wisdom.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
was. Wow.
So
Wow.
he actually, I feel as though he became totally one with that essence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You
I
said
agree.
became one with that essence.
Or better yet, he became aware.
He became
Of
aware.
himself as that essence.
We use those words, but that's the best we can explain it.
You should. Yeah.
But before you explain it, before you explain wisdom, before you explain how to, when to, what to, you're going to explain it like this. Oh, Lord, my God. Ooh, this is something. And that's where you go. And if you say too much, you're going to be crying. You're going to be, you're going to be shooting to the moon. You're going to have a conniption.
Popping. Popping.
The joy of the Lord is your strength. What is the strength?
Yes.
The joy, the Lord, your lordship, your Lord waking up is the most amazing thing. But now here we go again. Samson hit that man. Anybody had any sense of 999 men got their butt beat, and he ain't woke up yet. He ain't seen that this man, surely the Lord is God is with him, and I ain't got enough sense. Samson, let's go. You didn't knock them out. Let's go get a bite to eat. I gotta find out how you did that. Let's go eat some pig or hog or something. Hey, let's go to Bojangles or something. Let's sit down at Mr. Barbecue or something. You know,
Well, I want to make you laugh though. You highlighting Samson, but Samson is not the only one that did that.
That's right.
Elijah also.
You stink tonight, boy.
Killed all of those prophets.
You stink real good. You know what I mean? Ooh, what you talking about? How do you build a temple? If you find out how you build Solomon's temple, oh my buddy, you're gonna find out what you did in Christ before coming to this story world.
Exactly.
And you created the story so that you can come here to find something to do with this ability. You got to do something with it. You can't let it just lay there. Ain't no such thing as letting. If it lay there, it ain't gonna do nothing but reproduce after its own kind. That'd be you sitting there, making yourself sit there from your divine self. The power of God, don't use power no more. It's not power. It is wisdom, insight. Yeah. Oh, what a relief it is. It ain't in the Bear's aspirins. It ain't in the medication. The medication is using the Bear aspirin, whatever you call that word, that pill. Put it. What's in the pill is who made it. You did. Ask the cook to come out in the restaurant you go to get that good steak. Tell him to come out and congratulate him on the wonderful deal he pulled back there in that kitchen. That was God sitting at the table, God working in him, and God bringing you through the servants to serve your meal. Put my enemies in my subconscious mind on the plate. I'm going to sit here and eat them up with the wisdom of God. They will respect me, not because I got money, not because I got clothes, houses, apartments, not because of positionality. They're going to sit down and say, what kind of information? Where did you get that from? Don't get your butt up on your shoulders and smell yourself. Yeah, exactly. That's the clue to standing and walking in your pure identity. Don't get your butt up on your shoulders and start smelling yourself, because you can't stand up. Oh, if you could go to the hospital and empty every room of everybody in there that got HIV, cancer, and all kinds of diseases, first thing you know, the news reporters will be out there. Who is this? Where's this man at? Where's the strong arm and the sawyers that they clean out the hospital, put these doctors out of work because he had to heal them? No, stay humility, stay humilitized. Okay, stay humble, because you mastered the secret to where all the gold that flows downstream come from. It's called the mother lode.
Exactly. And that goes back again to what I read out of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 about um again the difference between the animals and man. I mean, there's not only this God with us. And so when we try to do things without really being actively aware it's him and not us, that is when ego comes in and takes the credit.
Yeah, when we fall back on that animalistic mind, that reptilian nature, we fall back into that humanity mind, that the survival of the fittest and all of that. When we do that, we then cancel out whatever wisdom could come forth, because there is another way to deal with all of the things that we're challenged with.
Exactly.
We may have dealt with it one way before in our effort to protect and defend what we feel is in danger. But then when we realize that there are no more enemies, there's another way to deal with the challenges that are presented to us.
If we could ever get to the place, and we say it so much, especially in religious circles, your greatest enemy is you. If you ever realize that. And so I had to train myself to realize that no one has greater power over me unless I allow it. So again, if we make reference to Father God, a lot of things that is happening, of course, we created it, but he allowed it. But if you begin to embrace it, then it becomes the learning tool once again.
Yes.
This of your evolution. And so that's something I had to learn. One of the things, as you were sharing that before, kind of remind me of what is taught in martial arts. That oftentimes you could utilize your opponent energy. So all you do, you're not actually fighting, you're redirecting energy. And so
there's wisdom. There's wisdom again.
My sister taught me this, and
your sister?
Yeah, my sister.
What she teach you?
My sister. If you let me finish,
you got a sister?
Yeah, you want to hear what I'm gonna say?
Yeah, what your sister say?
She said that when she was was teaching, she used to teach school. She's now working in an administrative office, but when she used to teach school, she said, you don't take a child that's having bad behavior and try to stop them by punishing them and all of that with effort. She said, you redirect them. You redirect their attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So see, that in itself is a great answer and solution that we should never put it. I'll use kids. We should never think that we're being effective, especially in the classroom, treating all the kids the same exact way. Because all of them are not built the same. We may be the same spiritually, but physically we built differently. So what one attracts one does not necessarily attracts the other. And so we have, like your sister did, she was able to realize that, hey, he's acting out because his energy needs to be redirected to something else that really can give it, that he may be passionate about. And we learn how to use those creative ways of really helping them to learn what you was trying to teach them from the start.
Yeah.
You just find another avenue to do it.
Okay. The question, can wisdom be taught? Here's the punchline to that. The hook in this is.
She said we already answered it.
Yeah, but here's some more to that. Can wisdom is showing them how it works. So you teaching because that's wisdom talking.
Mhm, mhm.
And the question is, oh, you turn this screw and you turn, when you go to your door to open the door, you're so oneness, identity as beingness. You don't look at the doorknob and say, that doorknob, you're supposed to turn to the right,
Right.
and you're supposed to unlatch this and turn the button in the middle. You are so that wisdom that somebody's at the door, you go, hip the doorknob open. Oh, how you doing? Wisdom is speaking and doing and moving.
Yeah.
Cooking is the same way. I was going to tell you, Pastor Norman, you may have heard me talk about this. When we first got married, wisdom was teaching my wife how to cook. She done it when she was with her mom and daddy because she had to do things around the house while they were working after she got out of school. But she knew how to fix things. Her mama did too, but she was putting things together, and she's been putting things together for me ever since we've been married. So she fixed them muffins, cornbread muffins, or whatever it was, biscuits. And now I was so happy because I'm gonna get
No
some
way
good old
going. That ain't right, Dad.
He gonna throw me under the bus. I said,
No, but she finally hit it. And wisdom told her
don't
to
try
keep.
to fix it.
I ain't,
Don't try to
wait. Wisdom showed her how to fix it.
Oh,
But she didn't fix it. She didn't fix it till she looked out the door. Them same biscuits was laying out there on the ground. The squirrels wouldn't eat them. The coons wouldn't eat them. The big old rat looking thing wouldn't eat them.
He said, just get off of me.
I ain't gonna get off you. And she come on around the corner there, and she went in there and made that stove jump off the floor.
You can't fix it. Just
She tore it up.
stop. You
My
can't fix it.
God, what a relief it was. She can fix it now. She know how to burn stuff up. She had to learn how to burn stuff. Had to learn how to put the wrong stuff in.
About me.
I'm talking about because I'm giving them a good example of wisdom how it worked in your life.
How it work?
It fixed them biscuits.
You just need to quit while you're ahead. That's what you need to do.
Wisdom say you gonna get yourself in trouble.
Talk yourself in a corner.
I'm glad I married this girl. She know how to take a punch. But you know what?
Wait before you go back. Something you said just a minute ago triggered this in me. I remember hearing.
That's wisdom.
Triggered a memory that I had of listening to a band by the name of Gabor Mate. Gabor Mate is a spiritual teacher, non-dual teacher. Anyway, he was saying, we often say that children grow up in the same house and yet they turn out differently, no matter, they all grow up in the same house, experience the same things. But he brought out that that's not necessarily true, because how the parents respond to the children, depending on when they're born, is what they experience. For instance, I was the first child. So my parents related to me differently than they did to the second and the third child. And so there were reasons why they responded in a certain way because they didn't have a child before me. So they treated me differently than they did the last child. So each time that a child is born, depending on what part of the family they're born in, the parent treats them differently. They treat them differently. So even though we grew up in the same house, we're not all experiencing the same thing.
So how many years between you and your brother?
5 between my oldest brother.
Oldest brother, yeah,
and then 9 between me and my baby brother, and then 10 between me and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gary and brother was right there with you before Renee. That's right.
Yeah, Renee was the last one. Yeah. Now, John Greason, I tell you. John Greason, what is the ham sandwich you talking about? Winston tells me that you are eating down the road.
I'm gonna go back and write down every last one of these quotes, and I'm gonna make you.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, whatever.
Lay it out there, John. Tell me what you're talking about, John.
That is funny.
Now, Sissy said this back when we were talking about redirecting. She said, the more you focus on, the more you get. If you focus on that particular thing, that's what you're going to keep getting. Yeah. So the redirection is very, very important. So we've been on here a whole hour, but
All right.
so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that animal nature that we talked about in the very beginning, that humanity, that animalistic mind can only be transcended, like you said, by becoming aware and then finding other ways. That's where the wisdom comes in. And finding other ways to deal with the challenges that come up based on your discoveries. Like the caveman discovered fire. He had to find a whole different way to fix his food, didn't he? He had to find a way to deal with the fire.
But even in that itself,
Yeah, find a way to.
where did the idea of fire even? See, that's why we should really understand that God is us, because where did the idea even come from about when you never seen, witness, experience, and then you out of nowhere you create fire?
Now, John said, you know, when John said
I see what John
was eating down the road. Now he said, Pastor talking about your early days of cooking. Yeah, Pastor talking about me. I could talk about him, but I didn't. I won't. He likes to do that. He likes to give people the impression that I'm silly. Pearl said, I followed John because Pastor was talking about your early cooking. He likes to talk about me. I don't know why.
I find you to be interesting.
Don't try to fix it. You okay?
Now, I know that to be true.
I mean, we laugh and cut up. Sometimes before we go to bed, we be laughing and cutting up, and for then she gets serious. She's serious. Then I break her out of by saying,
"You talk about me again. Look, now she's serious."
But she's a good old
I
girl.
could look now. I'm serious.
Yeah.
What else you gonna tell me?
I'll wait. I'll find something.
So Mom, you actually you use the flip the switch on him. You be cutting up with him for a while, then all of a sudden you get serious, so you just flip the switch.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
You hit the switch.
That's what he says.
So we didn't talk like that till we got old enough to understand how to talk to each other.
But you have to realize Dad plays a lot.
I do.
Oh gosh, yes.
See, she's serious now.
He plays
She's serious
lot.
now. Play.
So you get to the point where you say you're just playing too much. That's when I be serious.
She'll walk around in meditation. What's she contemplating about? Nothing. Be just contemplating while she's saying nothing. I leave her alone. She's okay. That's just her tip. That's just her conditioned temperament. But I know she's serious. I admire her for the ability of wisdom that she's operated in from the time I met her to now. She was wise enough to ride home with me in that truck, and she'd been riding the truck ever since.
Can you see how I look at you?
That doesn't sound too good.
Yes, it does. Because it was riding home in the truck that we. Yes, you are. And we've been together 56 years. Is that right?
Do you know?
I don't know. But anyway, we've been together all our lives, seems like. And that's just
longer than we've been apart. Yes.
Showed up. That's apart. Business.
Yeah.
She knows how to do, when to do, and what to do. Sometimes she is the ace in every step that's taken around here, because I don't know how to do hardly nothing compared to what she does. Now, is that good enough?
He's still trying to fix it.
No, I'm just telling you what it is. I ain't trying to fix nothing. I'm just telling you I'm telling you where we live, where the life is. And this is the wisdom. You know what? When you live with wisdom, you can recognize it instantly. You don't have to struggle with it. You see it, know it. What is this that causes people to get these jobs where they have to recall all the prices and the products and how much something weigh and how much it. I use it all the time when I'm working on my bike or working on a building something. I use measurements, but my measurements is mostly insight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been something that I've tried over and over again, and it worked. Wisdom is how something works, how it functions. Without it, you'd be a vegetable. So God fixed us so we won't have to be replanted all over again in the garden of wisdom. He made us out of wisdom so that we could walk in wisdom and not be stuck in trying to figure out how, when, and what. It automatically becomes second nature. It's the way we live to function in this world. Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being wisdom, honey.
And in the words of Solomon, you are to wear it around your neck like an ornament.
What did he say?
Oh.
I didn't hear that.
I said, in the words of Solomon, you should wear it about thy neck like an ornament.
Yeah.
Speaking of wisdom.
Yeah.
That's why these boys wear these bulletproof vests.
How you get?
See what I'm saying? What's that make you go serious? Like, what in the hell something she talking about? Where did he get that from? Where did he pull that? Just reach out.
How did you get a bulletproof vest out of what I just said?
You wear it. You are it.
You can't look.
But you don't wear a bulletproof vest around thy neck like an ornament. You wear over your chest.
There's no logic. It just comes up out of the air. Just pull it down.
You don't go hunting with one bullet.
Now where'd that come from?
You carry them in your hunting jacket. You carry your shield in your hunting jacket, so you won't have to go all the way back home and get another bullet and come back out.
Why are you talking about hunting?
I'm using it as parables, honey. I'm using it when he said wisdom, and he talked about wear it around you. You are
like
supplied.
Like an ornament.
Ornament. That's your word. You don't just lay it down and then come back and pick it up later, and you find out you done used it up. You can't use it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dad, just one night. I'm gonna put you up on stage and you're gonna do stand up. There's one night. One night.
Go serious.
We will bring in the cash. Yes. You have them laid out on the floor.
So now you see why I go silent and I get serious, because it's like, okay, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Now, John said something serious. He said, in talking about ecclesiastical and Proverbs, there's so much wisdom for life. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But then he says, okay, Barney, you have your one bullet. I'm going. Y'all too much. Y'all are too much.
Wisdom is what caused you to have a spare tire in your car.
Just quit.
That's why I carry my spare tire on the back of my Jeep.
You are a trip. Listen, guys, we're going. And we'll see you guys on Sunday.
I have fun.
And nothing happened. Thank you guys for tuning in and coming and being with us for the entire time. I hope you were here for the entire time. And you got something out of what we were talking about tonight. Yes. Of course, we always play around a little bit, but that's good too. Laughter's good for the soul. And we'll be back Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for Cornerstone. And Pastor Norman will be back at 9. No. You're going to be at a conference.
I'll be out on ministry assignment in Jacksonville, Florida.
Where the conference at?
Yeah.
In Jacksonville, Florida. We leave tomorrow evening. So
what time? How long till you get there, you think?
About 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Depending on traffic. Yeah.
That takes long to get there.
Yeah.
You gonna carry your wisdom with you?
Most definitely. I'm aware, just like a bulletproof vest, like you said.
That's right.
Thank you, God, for telling everybody to hit the like and the love button. We thank you for that. And Jill just posted how to give, and thank you for reminding
And we'd
us,
like to
Jill.
thank you guys for the presents that you gave my wife for her birthday.
Mhm.
And Leslie, we
Yes.
thank you for the present you gave her today.
Yes, thank you,
And the
Leslie.
rest of you all the day long. You're nothing but a gift of God as a birthday present to my wife.
And of course, you can give to Pastor Norman through Cash App as well. And so we want to let you know that and bless him on his way till he goes his trip. Just begin to affirm that everything's going to work out just wonderfully for him, and he'll get there so quick and safely, and he'll have a wonderful meeting. We just stand with him for that. Pastor Norman, we know it's going to be good. We know it's going to be good. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll see you later.
You gotta tie it down both sides of the road, and we'll see you on the turnaround.
On the turnaround, that's what John said, on the turnaround. See y'all on the turnaround.
There you go. Y'all on the turnaround. Yes.